Hey guys, this is some notes for 5.2 from our principles notes. And in this section, we're going to continue this concept of building equations for lines and still wanting to get to y equals mx plus b. Today we are going to deal with a few problems where the slope's not given and the y-intercept's not given. We're just going to have to dig that information out. And there's going to be a couple of ways we do that. So the first is we always have access to our slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that's still going to be very, very important to us as we try to build these equations. The second thing that we're going to have to do is we are going to have to use this version of the equation quite a bit to be able to substitute in and solve. And finding that b value in maybe a creative way. So let me give you an example of kind of our worst case scenario. Okay, let's say that they give us the points 2, 3, and 7, 13. Okay, so if this is these are the 2 points, they want us to figure out what line goes through them. There's going to be a couple of options. And I think the traditional method that we're going to try to use is using the slope formula to begin with. Okay, that's going to be our first approach. M equals the y2, my second y value, minus my first y value. Okay, so 13 minus 3 over my second x value minus my first x value. And this evaluates to be 10 over 5, which simplifies down to 2. Now, they won't always simplify down to a whole number, and that's okay. How we proceed from here is going back to our equation. We know that y will equal 2x, right, because the slope is 2, that number is going to go right there, plus b. We don't know what number b is or what its value is yet. But we're going to get clever and find a way to do it. We know that if b was 7, that if I plug in an x and a y, I would still get a valid equation. If it's 10, I would get a valid equation with that number. So a creative way to find b is to actually take one of these ordered pairs. It doesn't matter which one. And we are going to plug them into this semi-built equation. The y value from this ordered pair is 3, equals 2 times the x value from this ordered pair is 2. So you can see how I'm putting 3 in for y and 2 in for x, and I get plus b. I do not know what b is, but 3 equals 4, because 2 times 2 is 4, plus b. And if I want to get b all the way alone, all I have to do is minus 4 from both sides. That will tell me, if I take 3 minus 4, that negative 1 equals b. If I know that b is negative 1, and I already know that my slope is 2, then I should be able to write the equation y equals 2x minus 1. And there's my equation. It's all about how can we dig out those 2 pieces of information. As we look down into the homework, we're going to see a couple things. We see some where the slope is already given. That's going to save us a step. But to find b, we're going to take the same approach. We'll take our x and our y and plug them in with our slope to find b. So for instance, if I took question number 6, okay, I would say y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to plug in everything I know. The y value here is negative 5. Excuse me. Yeah. So negative 5 equals my slope, my m is negative 2. My x is a positive 5 plus b. So now I have negative 5 equals negative 10 plus b. And if I want to get b alone, I've got to get rid of this negative 10. Since it's negative, I will add 10 plus 10. And I get b equals 5. That means that for number 6, my equation should be y equals negative 2x, the negative 2 because of the slope, plus my y-intercept of 5. That is the answer to question number 6. The issue is we've got to know the slope and we've got to know the y-intercept. If you look at 11 through 16, those are much more like the questions I gave you in the first example, where we have to find the slope. We can see the same thing here with 17. The nice thing about 17 through 22 is that we can count up and over to get that slope. It's a lot easier to find that way by just counting spaces. So if you wanted to, on these ones, on 11 through 16, put the 2 dots and then count up and over, you definitely could. And I think that's really at the heart of what we're trying to do today. If you can get through examples like the one I started with and this example here for number 6, it should be pretty good. Let me know what questions you have. Don't shut me out. Really talk. Email me. Let's communicate about the problems we're having. And just saying, hey, this doesn't make sense, is sometimes just all that we need to get going in the right direction. All right, good luck, and we'll see you in class.